Hello folks, and welcome to this week's video tutorial. This will be another analysis of the same direction cannons. I hope you've liked this series thus far, and I personally have enjoyed it because it has been very inspiring. So without further ado, let's begin. Same direction cannons, the rank chariot, file chariot, cross palace rib chariot, and Red will patrol the riverbank. So far so good. These are considered the tabia or the standard recommended moves. Red develops his left horse as a proper horse, and so will Black. Now thus far all these moves are considered to be viable and the standard. Another option would be to play a6 plus 5, which is also considered a main line. Red will play p3 plus 1, and Red will develop both chariots as rank chariots. And this would be a confrontational situation with many complex variations. Now in this board, Red would attack with r6 plus 5 to target this horse. Now other options include p3 plus 1 or r9 plus 1 for the double rank chariots variation. Now this move is considered to be okay, to be orthodox, and the main target would be the horse. Now in this board, Black would counter with e3 plus 1, which is one of the old school counters for this position. Now the main idea was that by playing e3 plus 1, Red will get to protect the horse with r1 equals to 3 should Red capture the pawn. Now the recommended move nowadays would be to play c2 plus 2, because if say r6 plus 7, r6 equals to 7, sorry, Black could sacrifice the elephant and protect the horse in this manner, and then retreat his cannon in this manner to attack the horse as a counter attack, and Black could poise to counter, so the elephant is protected in this variation. Now if Red did not capture the pawn and chose to play p7 plus 1, this cannon will now make mischief and play c2 equals 7 to attack the horse. Red will counter to protect this horse with the cannon and also prevent or discourage Black to develop the chariot as a file chariot. Red would then choose to play p3 plus 1, and after trading material, Black would still be in contention, and it will be still too early to tell who would have the upper hand. So c2 plus 2 would be the recommended move nowadays. But in the olden times, let's say back in the 1960s or 70s, this was the move that was played. So faced with this position, there were two main variations that were discussed. The first would be r6 equals to 7, and the other would be c8 plus 2. Now in variation A, r6 equals to 7, Red would indeed attack the pawn as planned. Now this would be a move that was made more out of habit, but which is frowned upon nowadays. Now let us see why. Black would now protect his horse in this manner. Red would try to develop his left flank, and Black would play r8 equals to 2 to prevent r9 equals to 8 from happening. Now this was a good overview of the situation, and Red's entire attack would suddenly be slowed down. So Red would be forced to develop his chariot as a rank chariot. Black would offer a trade of chariots, and at this point in time we can see that the red chariot had played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moves within a span of 10 moves. Was used to play this red chariot, which was traded for a black chariot that had only made one move, and if you were to count the elephant, maybe 2 moves. So Black could have gained a net profit of 3 moves. So e1 minus 3, Black could retreat, capture the chariot in this manner. Now this move was played to make room for and allow the black horse to be developed further. Now if r5 minus 3 were played, Red would threaten to guard this intersection and prevent h3 plus 4 from happening. So let's say black countered in this manner. Black will protect the horse, and it will still be a roughly even situation. But of course, black can be very satisfied with this position too. So e1 minus 3. Black would play r9 equals to 6. Red would move his horse in this manner and be prepared to play h3 plus 4. Now, red would usually play h6 plus 4 to patrol the riverbank. If h6 plus 5 were played, black would have r2 equals to 3, not only to protect the horse and also attack red's horse. Red would not have gained anything from this move, and this would be an inefficient move. So r6 plus 3 is played, and black would now move his horse to the riverbank, be prepared to play, say, c2 equals to 4, c5 equals to 4, etc, etc. There will be many other options, including c2 equals to 3, etc, and black can be very satisfied with this position. Hence, despite black making this move, it would appear that black would now be able to still be in contention. So this would be variation A. Now in variation B, black would play c2 plus 2. Now this, for in version B, red would attack with c8 plus 2. Now this is a very good move by red that would deal with the situation correctly. Now the main idea in this board is that black was already prepared for red's aggressions over here. So red would now try to find another way of attacking in this position. With r8 plus 2, c8 plus 2, the cannon would now be prepared to attack either this file or this file, etc. And there will be many options. Red will keep his options alive. So let's say p3 plus 1. This would prevent red from playing c8 equals to 7 to attack the horse. Now if instead red tried to be aggressive with this move and try to attack the horse and protect the pawn at the same time, the cannon would now attack the other horse, forcing it to be linked. p7 plus 1 is sacrifice, and by sacrificing the pawn, red would get to make this move. Suddenly, black would be in all sorts of trouble. Red would have a huge initiative because the chariot had to be moved or the cannon would be attacking it. But if it moved, this flank and the horse would be attacking. Red would also get to develop his left chariot, etc. There will be many options for red to continue. So p3 plus 1 would be advised, and black would now take out red would now take out black's most important attacking piece. Now this move also served other purposes, like allowing the left chariot to be developed. Now it will also target black's weaknesses in this position. Now it would not be a good idea to play c8 equals to 3, because black would now play h3 plus 4. His horse would now move to the riverbank, whereby the cannon will now protect the horse. So let's say red tried to gain material in this manner. Black could simply play c2 equals to 3 to target the horse, and if let's say red captured the horse, black would now now move an advisor to consolidate his defense and threaten the chariot. If the chariot moved away, the cannon would be lost, so this would in fact be the horse that was caught earlier was basically a pseudo sacrifice. Okay, so if c5 plus 4, let's say if c5 plus 4 were played, say red tried to pick this move, black could continue with r8 equals to 5, and this would target the cannon and also threaten, and red would lose even more in this position. So c5 plus 4 is not viable, and red will be forced to trade his chariot for 2 of black's major pieces at this point. And after the trade, it will be black's 2 chariots, 1 cannon versus red's 2 cannons, 2 horses, and 1 chariot. But the red pieces have not been activated, and this cannon was placed in poor position. So black would immediately threaten to chase the cannon, forcing it. This would be the only viable move. But in doing so, black would now start his attack the horse. Red will try to protect it in this manner, and again, black will gain back lost material. The cannon is captured. If it moved here, the advisor would capture it. Now the mobility of the 2 chariots, it would be too much for red to handle, as his horses have not been developed, and he will have trouble trying to develop them later on. So black gains back lost material, and this would be very desirable for him. So c8 equals to 3 is a move that the authors described that was bound to fail. So c8 equals to 5 would be the much better move. Now at this point in time, there were another 2 variations that were discussed. The first would be r8 equals to 4, and then last variation would be h3 plus 4. Now it would be an extremely bad idea for black to play a4 plus 5 at this point, because this would allow red to develop his chariot, and red would, for his next move, he will still have the option of playing r6 equals to 7, so black would be in a terrible position. So in variation BA, r8 equals to 4, black would try to trade chariots. Of course, red would refuse, and she could target and put pressure on this horse. Black would protect the horse in this manner. r9 equals to 8 to target the cannon. Now, black can only try to shake off the pin as fast as possible. If he slowed the pace and played a4 minus plus 5, red would now, the cannon will now jump into action and threaten the horse, which can only move here, as there's always a threat of a smothered cannon checkmate. And once this was done, this cannon would now move to the edge file to attack the elephant, which was one of the biggest weaknesses in this board. Black's situation would be worse. If the horse moved, red would capture the black cannon, etc. So a4 plus 5 would not be a viable option. And after black tried to trade material, red would first take out black's most important attacking force. Now, this was a timely move. Now it would not be a good idea for if at this point if red captured the edge pawn, because black would have c5 plus 3 to take out the cannon, and then he'll be prepared. Red would have to deal with this cannon. Let's say if you played this move, black would play c2 equals to 5, and the cannon will now not only be free from red's threat, he would also be able to attack the central file. So black's situation has been diffused, and red would have to go back to his drawing board and try out something new. So that is why moving the chariot would be a bad idea. So c5 plus 3, deliver a check, and now would be the perfect time for red to move his chariot to the edge file to target this elephant. Black would move his cannon to safety, and red would immediately, since black's cannon had been taken out, this was the perfect time to launch an attack from the central file. Now this would expand his offensive. Now black cannot be greedy for the elephant and capture it. Otherwise, black has c5 equals to 3. The horse is protected by the chariot, and now the cannon will be attacking the chariot, forcing the chariot to retreat. And because of this move, although black had lost an elephant, his formation was basically stable, and he would now be attacking this pawn and the left horse. Black would be given a chance back into the game. So r9 plus 1 would be a bad idea. Instead, red should play p5 plus 1. And if the horse tried to come out, red would apply a pin again. Now, as can be seen, there is not much that black can do at this point. Black can only passively take a beating. So this would be variation BA, whereby black would try to trade chariots. Now in variation BB, h3 plus 4 was played as red tried to mount an offensive. However, this would be a terrible move also, because red would capture the cannon, forcing the this would be a necessary order of moves. Now this would be the correct move to make, in fact. Now if red tried to play r9 equals to 8, red can choose to trade cannons first and then consolidate his defense. For example, again the cannon would be able to play c2 equals to 5, and black would have diffused the situation. So this would be the correct move to make, and at this point in time r9 equals to 8 to threaten the cannon, forcing it to move. If black played r1 equals to 2, the red chariot would be, one piece would be pinning two black pieces. Now red would continue his merciless attack. Now at this point in time, if the cannon moved, red would capture the elephant, because this chariot would just block the horse nicely. So black would be forced to protect the cannon, and as mentioned earlier, because black's cannon had been taken out, red would launch an offensive from the central file. Black tries to gain a comeback from this move. Now black cannot play, or should not play, h4 plus 6, because if he did, red would be prepared to play r6 plus 1, and all hell would break loose, because red would be threatening to capture the material and also the elephant and gain material. So this would be a very vicious counter, and that is why it would be a bad idea for black to play h4 plus 6. With h4 plus 3, black would counter in this manner to prevent the black horse from attacking the pawn or the cannon. Now this is a sound move. It would be inappropriate to try to play r6 plus 1 at this point, because red would take out the red cannon and also threaten to go for an elbow horse check. And once this was done, red would threaten to capture the horse. Red tries to protect the horse and counter capture the cannon, but black would first consolidate his defense in this manner, and black would now retreat his horse, and black would now lose material. So red would now lose material, so black would suddenly come back from the game. So as can be seen, it will be 1, 2, 3 red pieces versus 1, 2, 3, 4 black pieces. The cannon will be moved to safety, and black will live to fight another day. 6 minus 3 will be advised. Black would consolidate his defense, and red would boldly charge his pawn across the river. Now this is the correct order of the moves. h7 plus 5 would be a mistake, because black would be able to counter with p3 plus 1. If he did, red would now sacrifice his pawn, and red would lose a lot. Red would be in deep trouble. If he captured the horse, black would capture the elephant or check, forcing it, and black would gain material, gain a huge advantage. This pawn will be a major threat. So that is why h7 plus 5 would be a bad idea. So c8 equals to 5, h7 plus 5 to attack. This is one way of linking the horses to attack. And red will consolidate his defenses, and consolidate his defenses for future attack. So at this point, we can see that red's formation is very nice. There are many options for red to continue to develop his horse, and black's formation was in a disarray. The elephants are not linked, the cannon was under attack, this horse was also under attack, and basically this chariot cannot do much at the moment because of the red horses. So red will have a significant advantage by this time. A quick review with the game as black. Okay. The same direction cannons. Rank chariot, foul chariot, cross perilous rank chariot, riverbank chariot, proper horse, and so far so good. Redwood. This is one way of attacking, and in this board, black would play e3 plus 1 as a prophylactic measure. Now, two variations. Variation A, c8 plus 2, variation A, c8 plus 2, variation B, c8 plus 2. Now, variation A, r6 equals 7 was played, and after trade of material, we can see that black would have claimed the initiative because red would have used up too many moves to move this chariot. And black can have many options to continue. Version B, c8 plus 2 was played. Now this would demonstrate very versatile and agile deployment of the troops. p3 plus 1 to prevent this move, and red would play c8 equals to 5 to take out the black cannon. Again, two sub-variations, variation BA, c8 equals to 4, and variation BB, h3 plus 4. In variation BA, red would continue to apply pressure, forcing the chariot to move in this manner, and at this point in time, the formation over here would be in trouble. Red will continue r9 equals to 8. Black would try his best to shake off the pin. Necessary order of moves, check. And red would of course refuse to trade material because there was no way that an open chariot should have traded for a black chariot, a closed chariot, sorry. And red would start his campaign from the central file. And again, this move by the red chariot would congest this flank, and black's cannon, horse, and chariot would have trouble developing, and black can only passively take a beating from here on. Variation BB after h3 plus 4 would also not be viable. Again, red would take out the central cannon, attack with the other chariot, and black advances the horse to capture the pawn, and also capturing the red cannon. Of course, red would not allow, and red would charge his pawn forward. And after some trade of material, red would consolidate his defenses, and basically red would not have to be afraid of any potential attacks by black at this point. Now, in this board, the position of the discussion, or the dubious position, would be e3 plus 1, because not only would it weaken black's formation, it will allow red to have many tactical options later on, as can be seen, let's say, from version BB. Now, a very important concept that the authors tried to present in this book was the concept of the integrity of the formation. As can be seen, because of e3 plus 1, black's formation was in disarray, and he had to pay a heavy price for this folly, and this move was later criticized as lacking an overall view of the situation. So I hope you've enjoyed this short video. I've read this book a long time ago, and I was very happy to be doing the videos over here, and I would like to thank Grandmaster Xiangqi and Master Yan Wenqing for allowing me to use their work to present this video, and I hope that this video will be inspiring and allow you to master more Xiangqi concepts better. Thank you.